Well, hi, I'm Randall Shepard. I'm going to do part two of Lee Iacocca as a leader. We're going to focus on his leadership style. So when you're looking at a leader like Lee, there's questions we ask. Like, how did he get things done? How did he come up and do these great accomplishments over time? What makes him different from others? What motivating factors influenced him? And why was he thought of as a great leader? What drove him? So next slide, please. Here's a quote that will sum up some of those questions. Motivation is everything. You can do the work of two people, but you can't be two people. Instead, you have to inspire the next guy down the line and get him to inspire his people. So just a little glimpse of his reasoning on why he's a good leader and what it takes to be a good leader. His personality and upbringing. Lee was known for being a straight talker. He's black and white, shot from the hip, said what was on his mind, not in a rude way, but just getting his point across. He asked a lot of questions, but he's just a straight talker. He's very decisive. He knew what he wanted and had the steps to get there. He's very visionary, very much a visionary. He was educated, went through his doctorate, got his doctorate degree. He's very passionate, knew what he wanted, put his heart and soul into trying to attain the things that he wanted. And he had this never give up attitude, which we'll see a little bit later. And like I said earlier, he's a visionary. He could just see what he wanted and how to get there. He had a knack for that. Now, Lee influenced through knowledge and charisma. He was very charismatic. He developed the 9 C's of leadership. So next slide, please. The 9 C's of leadership are what Lee felt a leader needed to be a great leader. So I'll just briefly go over them. You could come back and look at the definitions, but they were curiosity, creative, the ability to communicate, character, courage, conviction, charisma, competence, and common sense. Lee also had balance in his life. He's known for his hard work, but he also had a life. He loved his family, and he did other things to give him that balance that helped him to become a great leader. He had a passion for his family, loved his family. We'll see a couple quotes here in a second about his family. His dad was the most influential in his life. He had a couple big wigs at Ford pour into him and mentor him, but he still says that his dad was the most influential. He was raised to give back, and he later became a philanthropist, just giving to a lot of causes. His wife died of diabetes, and he started a foundation to cure diabetes. So he just had a heart to give back, just as he was raised. Next slide, please. The quotes about family, he says, "The only rock I know that stays steady, the only institution I know that works is the family. No matter what you've done for yourself or for humanity, if you can't look back on having given love and attention to your own family, what have you really accomplished?" So just a little glimpse into his heart and how he held family dear to him. Next slide, please. Lee had vision. He had this vision for success. He knew what that looked like, how to get there, how to attain it. Along with that, he had conviction. While at Ford, he had the idea of the K car and the minivan. And both of those ideas were rejected at Ford. But he took those to Dodge when he was hired there, and they became two of the most popular and successful car lines in the automotive industry. He also had vision and conviction for the government bailout. He was the only guy to have ever done that and was accepted. And so anyway, he just had the vision. He didn't give up. He just kept trying different options. So he went to the government, and they okayed that and bailed Dodge out. He said growing up, he goes, "I didn't know the meaning of impossible. It was not spoken in our home." So just a little bit more of his background and what molded him. Next slide. Lee believes transformative leadership style. So that's what he was all about. He liked to create something new out of the old, just as he did with Dodge. Took the ideas and just kind of revamped it and made things more efficient and productive. He was an authoritarian leader. He was very decisive and autocratic. In fact, he was known at Dodge in a 3-year period to have fired 23 vice presidents. So the man knew what he wanted, and he wasn't afraid to stop until he got to that goal. But also on that note, he wasn't a dictator. He wasn't iron-fisted. He was a cheerleader. He motivated people to his vision. He rejoiced in their successes. But he also helped employees generate a sense of meaning in their work. He saw that as just valuable to have people just vested in their work because they loved the vision and wanted to meet the goal. Next slide, please. Just a closing quote from Lee that'll just kind of sum up what we've talked about. It says, "I learned about the strength you can get from a close family. I learned to keep going even in bad times. I learned not to despair even when my world was falling apart. I learned that there are no free lunches, and I learned the value of hard work." Well, thanks for watching. Thomas will be speaking next on some of Lee's major accomplishments. Thank you.